If you've been curious how to land paid brand collaborations in 2021, even as a small influencer, you're in the right place. What's up everyone, it's Modern Millie. Welcome back to my channel where I post videos every Wednesday teaching you the latest strategies and trends on social media to help bloggers, influencers, and content creators grow their brands. So give a little love tap on that subscribe button to stay up to date on all the latest tips and tricks that I have for you. First, I want to say a huge thank you to this video's shoutouts. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So if you want to get a shout out in one of my future videos, screenshot yourself watching this video and tag me on Instagram stories, or leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel. As always, timestamps will be in the comments down below because I value your time and you already know why you're here. So let's get into it. There are 3 different strategies when it comes to landing brand collaborations: baiting, catching, and pitching. Baiting is basically using your current social media platforms to get a brand to notice you. Catching is when a brand reaches out to you and you have to negotiate and land the deal. And then pitching is when you reach out to the brand for a partnership. I'm kind of thinking of doing an entire series on this topic. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, let me know in the comments what you want to see more of that I don't talk about in this video. If you want to figure out how to get brands to notice you using some of the baiting methods, you can check out the video in the card above. As we are talking about brand collaborations, I do want to take the next few seconds to thank this video's sponsor, and that is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where millions of people come together to take the next step in their creative journey, with thousands of inspiring classes for creatives and curious people on topics like illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, Instagram, and so much more. You guys may know this, but I've had a Skillshare account for over a year now, and this is what my actual personal account looks like. My personal favorite classes, as you can see from this list, are Instagram marketing, entrepreneur tips. The class I'm in the middle of right now is a Skillshare Talks class from dreaming to doing with creative freelancer Bonnie Christine. This one is a motivational session that honestly is getting me fired up on my dreams right now, so highly recommend it. The best part about Skillshare is that it's curated specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads. They're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of the premium membership so you can explore your creativity. Join me and millions of other members on Skillshare to take your learning and discovery to the next level. Okay, now when brands are picking influencers to partnership, they are mainly looking for 2 aspects. We're going to start with these foundation fundamental pieces and then get into the actual money making part of the video. The 2 aspects are 1, your influence, and 2, your parallels. Notice how I didn't say how many followers you have, okay? When I say influence, I mean, can you move your audience? Have you created a community of people who listen to you and engage with you? Think about it. Why do brands pay influencers or micro-influencers? It's because they want access to your audience. Brands are no dummies, they are smart. They can tell who is buying followers, likes, comments, etc. They can tell, they know these things. No matter how big or small your tribe is, they're going to pay people who can connect with their tribe, and that is that. So that's your influence. Number 2 is focusing on your parallels. Let me explain. This is where having a niche becomes important. For the sake of my sanity, I'm just gonna say niche for this entire video. I know both ways are correct. This is where having a niche becomes important for brand collaborations too. When you have a niche, you have a target audience. When you have a target audience, you have a clear demographics. And with those demographics, brands can easily measure if your audience will be the right target for their campaign. For example, if your niche is to travel safe and solo as a young woman, and you're constantly posting content geared towards that niche, it's safe to say that you'll build an audience of women who love to travel, probably between the ages of 18 and 30-ish. And most of them will likely be in whatever country you're living in. Now, if you wanted to pitch to a brand like Away, which is a luggage company, that would make sense. You both have consistent parallels. Whereas if you wanted to pitch to HelloFresh, the food delivery service, that doesn't make as much sense because your niche and target audiences, they don't match. They're not parallel. Having those parallels can be a huge value when pitching. Brands want the most ROI, return on investment. So if they have to choose between a large influencer who has over 100,000 followers without any clear niche other than lifestyle, or a micro-influencer with under 10,000 followers with an engaged community with an audience exactly like the people they want to reach, they're going to go with the micro-influencer. Okay, now that we have the foundation cleared up, how can you get the actual monies? Tip number 1 is to join third-party platforms. Third-party platforms is basically a place that connects brands and influencers on either gifted or paid partnerships. This is actually where I got my first paid collab. Here's a list of some third-party platforms that you can get paid through. Aspire IQ was the one that I got paid my first paid collaboration on, but all of these do offer paid collaborations. Now, before going into tip 2, I want to say a disclaimer that brand collaborations should not be your only stream of income or even your main stream of income, because it can be very inconsistent. Brand collaborations should just be a part of your business and a part of your income streams. Now, for tip number 2, you want to focus on relationship building. As I built my experience with working with brands and learning how to shoot branded photos and content, I only accepted gifted opportunities. I didn't focus on getting paid. Why, you may ask? Here's an example. Say you want to be a photographer and you have zero experience, you've never taken a class before, but you got a camera off Craigslist and you're ready to get started. Are you going to right off the gate start charging people $1,000 an hour for a shoot? Or are you going to do some free shoots to build your portfolios, like high school graduation photos or engagement shoots, things like that? You'll probably start building your portfolio, doing some free work. Now, hear me out. I am not saying that you shouldn't get paid at all. That is not what I'm saying, but I am saying that it is okay to do free work when starting out to build your portfolio, build your confidence, and build your experience. When I became confident with knowing how to speak to my audience on partnerships and just brand collaborations in general, I reached out to brands that I had already worked with before multiple times because I had already built a relationship with them, and I tried to turn them and transition them into sponsored opportunities and paid collaborations because we already had built that trust. It was super natural for me to reach out to them saying, hey, I've been getting a lot of collaboration requests, so I'm excited to share with you that I'll be transitioning to sponsored partnerships, and since we've been working together for 6 months and my audience loves your stuff, I'd love to continue to grow together. Boom, that is it. Okay, tip number 3 is know your worth. If you want to get paid, you have to set your rates, and it can be hard to set your rates when you don't fully understand your value. So the first thing you want to do is leverage your strengths when talking with brands. If your follower number isn't that big, focus on your engagement rate or your Pinterest followers or your X amount of years in marketing. Any experience, education, skills, or platform can be used to bump up your rates. Anything, honestly. So maybe you only have 1,000 followers, but those 1,000 followers are really engaged with your content and your engagement rate is like a 20-30%. That is amazing considering brands look for influencers with a 3% average engagement rate. So if your engagement rate is 20%, focus on pitching that 20% engagement rate as opposed to thinking you don't have enough followers, because again, it is not about the follower numbers. Okay, to give you guys something tangible so you can set your minimum rate, let's do this together. First, you're going to multiply your follower number by 0.02. That's basically 2 cents per follower. That's the first thing that brands are paying you for, is your reach. But you are also so much more than your follower number, so let's keep going. Then figure out how long it takes for you to create a piece of content from start to finish, whether that's a photo, a video, an Instagram story, writing a blog, whatever it is, figure out how long it takes for you to create that content from start to finish. For a photo, how long does it take you to conceptualize, get ready, makeup, hair, shoot, edit, write the caption, all of that stuff? How long does it take you to do that? And then multiply that by, let's say, minimum wage. Also write down any expenses that you may have had. So if you bought props, did you use your phone, throw in that phone bill in there or something? And that's how much you should charge. If you have 2,000 followers, multiply that by 0.02, which gives you 40. Say it took me 6 hours to complete a post start to finish. I'm going to multiply 6 by 12, which is the minimum wage here. That's 72. I also bought a bouquet of flowers as props, and that cost me about 20 bucks. So add that all together, it's about 132. Let's round it up for funsies to 150. So with my 2,000 followers, my very first starting rate is $150 for a post. Okay, this is an estimate. Okay, let me be clear. This is an estimate for how much you can charge on your first paid collaboration. I am not saying this is how much you should charge or trying to lessen your value at all. If you feel like you're worth more, charge more. You are in charge here. But if you're just getting started, use this method. Once you get that payment on your first collaboration, bump up the payment for the next one. This is a great way to build confidence in charging as an influencer. Again, I cannot say this enough, but it is not about the followers. I've helped influencers with under 500 followers land paid collaborations on Instagram, so it is possible. I do have a Pitchmaster bundle on my website website with pitch templates, media kit templates, and so much more. So if you are curious about that, I'll be sure to link it below. Talking about how much you should charge and all the money stuff is like a perfect transition to tip number 4, and that is knowing how to catch properly. As you grow, you'll be contacted by brands looking to collaborate, and there is an entire technique on catching and negotiating, but the number one most simple way to convert those emails into a paid collaboration is this: ask their budget. I know, it sounds simple, and that's because it is. If they email you saying they want to give you their latest body wash, reply saying you're only accepting sponsored opportunities and you'd love to hear about the budget they have for these partnerships. Ask them how much that budget is. Try not to be the person that says a number first, and if you do, say a rate that is higher than what you would normally charge so that you have room to negotiate down so you don't get underpaid. I'll just say an example. Brand emails me, "Yo, Millie, we want to gift you this. Hey, I'm only doing sponsor opportunities. What's your budget?" They never said they were gonna pay me. I just assumed. I just said, "What's your budget? What's your budget?" And then they go, "Oh, well, what are your rates?" And I'm like, I asked you first. I don't want to say a budget. You could say, "Well, that depends. What are you looking for deliverables?" You know, try not to say that number first, but if you have to, and they're like, "Here's the deliverables. How much do you charge for those?" If I charge $500 for those deliverables, I'm gonna tell them 1,000. I'm gonna say, "Oh, 1,000." And maybe they'll match it and be like, "Okay, yeah, okay, we could do that." Or they'll go, "Ooh, that's a little out of budget for us. How's 750? Or how's 500? Boom. I just got the rate that I was normally gonna charge anyway. Boom. You're educated. You're welcome. You're welcome. With all that being said, I know it's like you want to live this perfect influencer life and you want to get paid to travel the world and post sponsored content. Like, I know that's the dream, but at the end of the day, I want you to remember that collaborations are not for selfish gain, but for mutual growth. When crafting your pitch or talking to a brand in general, remember that there is a human on the other side of that email. Don't just use them because you want some free stuff or money. Be personable, create a true connection, and then the money will follow that. There's a lot of techniques that go into pitching, negotiating, and getting paid and getting money. But if you're not being like an enjoyable person to work with or an enjoyable influencer to work with, the money will not follow. People can sniff greed from a mile away. Make sure your heart is always in the right place and you're always pitching from a place of service because you want to help them. You know that you can provide value and you can offer that value as a solution to a brand. It should never come from a place of like, well, I really like this brand and I like their makeup and I want the makeup for free. So, hi, send me free stuff. That doesn't work nowadays. People can sniff that BS, okay? So, I didn't even script this, but sorry to spit the harsh truth. Pitching from a place of service will always sound authentic and will always win over somebody who is asking for free stuff or somebody who is asking for money. Build true relationships first and create the genuine connection, and then the money will follow that. I don't even have to tell, that's it. That's it. I know it can be really scary to press that send button for the first time when pitching, so I do have pitch templates on my website that I'll be sure to link below to help you with that confidence. If you've already made it this far and you're not already subscribed, tackle that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so that you don't miss when I post my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thanks again Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I will see you in the next one. Follow your joy. Bye.